First of all, I'm going to start this channel today by saying that when a woman or anyone comes to social media to ask certain questions and ask in the third person, there's a high chance that that person is referring to themselves. And this is the situation of Peggy Ovire. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of people might think otherwise, but this is what I think. Because whenever someone comes and says, I know a friend that did this, or I know a friend that this happened to, most of the time, especially when you look deep, you would see in the details that they are most likely talking about themselves. And that is what I noticed with Peggy's write-up. Honestly, Peggy is so beautiful. I can say that for sure. And so is Leonard. And my first impression about these two people when they were getting married was, can they make the sacrifices that marriage demands? Because Frederick Leonard is one alpha male on his own. And looking at Peggy, she doesn't look like someone who is very subservient. So these are two bosses coming together. How do they how do they work? You know? Two bosses coming together. They're just gonna be fighting, honestly. Because one is not gonna bow for the other. So I'm just gonna read what she said in the first place and why I feel that she's actually referring to herself in her own situation. What will you do if you find out that the man you're dating is sleeping with a married woman with kids? You asked him about it, but he totally denies it, saying they are just friends, and you completely believed him. You eventually got married to him. Your husband always hypes the married woman in public, but privately, your husband tells you how local this friend is just to manipulate you so you would not suspect a thing. I'm just going to pause there because one thing that I've noticed about men is that most of the time when they badmouth a certain person, especially when it's a female folk, and the badmouth the person to the point that you feel like, my husband or my partner doesn't like this person at all. Mm, mm, mm. You need to read between the lines because there's just one thing, maybe not all the time, but most of the time they actually like that person and they're just looking for a way not to make you feel like they like the person. So it's just like a game to them. And I know men will not agree to this, but he who has ears, let them hear. Moving on. But one day, as God will have it, you got evidence and found out your husband and the said lady were never just friends. He has been sleeping with the married woman. They constantly meet up either in his apartment when he goes to work or in a hotel. She also leaves her husband's house to go meet him in his apartment and in hotels. Yet this same man judges and castigates single girls who sleep with married men. Not long after getting married, you notice that he is now comparing you to his married side chick. You find out that he even visits her at home, unknowing to her husband. On some occasions, he visits her while husband is around because the married side chick's husband also believes your husband is just friends with his wife. This married side chick even attended your wedding and you had no problem with it because you thought they were just friends. But now you have evidence of both of them meeting up in hotels doing stuff and your so-called husband telling her how much he misses her while he is married to you. Would you remain married to such man? She's asking us. It's a question for us to answer. But first of all, let's look at this write-up. It has so many details. Someone who is not directly affected by this situation would not write as much as this. She actually gave in a lot of details in this write-up. And that tells me it actually happened to her, because if it was someone who told her, the person won't go into details as much as this. And she herself, in asking a question, would just be giving us a summary of what she would like to know. So for her to have gone into this much details and had a lot to say, she did her own investigations. She found out about the things that she found out. Of course, she hasn't even said everything, but she has given a lot of hint as to what happened between herself at least our own version, a point of view, our own version of the situation. And it just got me thinking, did she see the red flags before she got herself into this relationship in the first place? I think she did. I'm not judging, but I think that she did because apparently, when they were getting married, she was so happy and overjoyed to be finally getting married to this particular man in question, Freddie Leonard, that she had a lot to say. And there's a video ongoing here on social media where she was just going on and going on about how good he was and how controlling he was, but she still likes him and that she knows that they're going to fight. But she had a lot to say.
I don't want to go through everything. You and I have been through a lot. It's been a lot of struggles. It's been a lot of breakups as well. You've gone, I've gone, I've come back, you've come back. Even though it can be very controlling. But Frederick loves me. I've seen you fight so many people for me. Babe, I will never be perfect. I will still fight you. I saw a man that is not a womanizer. And most importantly, that is why I stayed for this long, babe.
A lot to say that were so much that even the people online were like, this is a lot that you're saying. I understand that you like this guy, but why? The red flags were there and she chose to ignore. I'm not one to come and point fingers and tell you, you should have done better. I told you. But hey, I mean, the fact is the fact. And there's evidence on social media of that fact. So last year we heard about them separating from, was it G's Lover? But nothing was said for certain. We weren't even sure, but we saw the signs online that something definitely isn't right somewhere because they weren't posting each other as much. They weren't even posting on, like, on Christmas Day where families put on pajamas, matching pajamas. They never had that on. They were just doing the things separate. This one they go in way like this, that one they go in way like this. And online in-laws were just there wondering what's going on, and they began to question what they were saying anyways. And Freddie actually felt the need to respond, and this was his reaction. He said, and I read, "We do not owe this toxic social media space any explanation for our action or a sneak peek of what's happening in our home. Marriage is not slavery. She can post Christmas photos without me in it. She can rest her fingers and not wear a ring. I bought the ring and I am not complaining. She can go on vacation without me. It's not your business. She can wear short dresses because she's a stunning woman, and the bush ones amongst you will be all right. Even call those bush people. She can live a life and be happy. And I will do the same. Be happy and fulfilled. I'm not going to stop kissing in movies because I am now married." That's a topic for another day. Or because of what some unenlightened dumb Fs, I'm not going to use that word, will think. No professional actor anywhere in the world does that. He went on and on. No. Should I continue? It's long. Some of you all should stop trying to indict some innocent actresses starring in movies with me. These are professionals getting paid to do their job and put food on their table. For those who choose to judge my true nature as a person by the roles I play in movies, it goes to show how daft you are. YouTube, daft you are, and that's not my fault. It's not my job to boost your IQ. Fred. Peggy and I never consulted any of you when we decided to get married. Therefore, we don't hold you shit. This app was created to connect, share love, and have fun. But frustrated people have made it toxic. This will be the last time the Leonards will address blogs and social media idiocy. Please, Baba, Ide shikbe in English. If you all decide to continue in your folly after this post, my wife and I will just relax and laugh at the senselessness. One will become a source of entertainment for us. Peggy and I are different. Read that again. Leave us alone. I love my wife. My wife loves me. Chemba, 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 ye. We do not laugh at situations like this because we never know tomorrow. But honestly, with how much they tried to prove to us that they were the in thing, apparently a lot is going on behind the scenes. They separated because apparently she removed the name, and now they are writing cryptic posts against each other. He hasn't come out to say anything for real, but of course, it's just a matter of time. There's a way that they will talk and talk and talk that they will start exchanging, exchanging things, but it hasn't gotten to that yet. So we're still watching. Online emails are still watching. Something actually spooked Peggy because it's not as if that separation just happened, though. These people have been separated for a while. In fact, he had even removed his last name, sorry, his surname from her name. She had removed it. Everything as no, they've tried to keep it quiet. So it has to be that something or someone spooked her for her to feel the need to come and speak out. And she hasn't even come forward directly. She's still saying, I know a friend, can you, no, I know a brother. No, she hasn't actually spoken out completely to say, okay, this is who I'm referring to, or I'm referring to myself. We are all still guessing at this point. So what do you think, guys? I don't think that they rushed into marriage because both of them are of a marriageable age and in fact overdue, especially for Freddie. Especially for Freddie, even though I don't know, sometimes some Nigerian men used to think that they are going to be hot cake for the rest of their lives. And if they have not gotten to that point in their life where they feel like I actually have to settle, and no matter what happens in my relationship, I'm going to make it work. If you as a woman are trying to push yourself into their lives, and you're going to have a lot of problems, you're going to struggle because they themselves have to be in that same mentality. They have to be in that same space with you. And it doesn't matter if you've dated them for 100 years. If they haven't gotten to that point, it's going to be very hard. Anyways, I just came here to drop my 2 cents. It's not a lot of cents, but it's enough for this video. So I wish them the best of luck. If they have separated, I wish that they would work things out. The marriage was not for too long. I think they did some anniversaries, right? They don't have children together, so it's easier for them to separate and go their separate ways and start their lives afresh without any dramas. But apparently they want to bring the drama, and if you bring the drama, we will talk about the drama. So guys, see you guys on Wednesday. Please watch what's going on. It's my favorite segment on my channel this period, and I need it to grow. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Adedayo, and I'll see you in the next one.